Working? Whoa! Hey guys, I just want to welcome you back. It's been a very, very long time since I've made a video, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit of kind of what I look like right now. I recently just took these pants out of the closet. I found them, and I was quite surprised that I haven't worn these pants in, what, 6-7 years, and they're Carhartt pants, and I will probably be donating these really soon. Super baggy, super uncomfortable. Carhartt doesn't give any crotch stretching type aspects to their clothing. And this is why I shop specifically at Duluth Trading Post, and I buy their fire hose pants because they're stretchy. You can move and do stuff. And if you're morbidly obese, that is a game-changing type of clothing that you might want to consider, because if you're getting bigger, if you're getting smaller, women, they have women clothing as well, made out of fire hose, stretchy material. So the clothes will either kind of sort of shrink with you or grow with you over time, and it makes your life just a whole lot more comfortable. And if you work in construction or a truck driver like myself, it just makes more sense to have some sort of comfortable, flexible type clothing. So one of the stressful things that I've had going on here, which is part of my weight loss situation or lack thereof weight loss situation, and when you're stressed, I found out that no matter what, you're gonna gain a little bit of weight, and it's not gonna be like 30-40 pounds. We're talking like 5-10 pounds at times. But for months, my weight's been down as low as 259. That was the lowest I've been so far in this weight loss journey. And then it kind of just bounces around between 259, 265. And I believe the highest weight I've seen in the last couple of weeks is about 267.8. Now, I've pretty much given up on the scale just for that reason. I just leave that scale alone. Once in a while, it might pique my curiosity, but my weight loss journey now is not focused anything on the scale. It's focused more on 90% eating of the carnivore diet. Now, anybody can be successful if they focus on 90% carnivore diet type eating. And it doesn't matter whatever you eat afterwards. So as long as I'm eating 90% meats and fats, 10% I don't care. I've been doing this for approximately 2 years now. I have been doing the carnivore diet as strict as possible from time to time. I think my longest stretch was a little over 30 days of just strict carnivore diet type eating. Yes, you feel absolutely stellar. You feel amazing. And I do have that little bit of addiction, food addiction like everybody has, because we have to be honest with ourselves when we look in the mirror. Yes, I'm addicted to sugar. Yes, I'm addicted to certain and specific type of foods, like pizza is one of them. Once in a while, these silly little, let me get one out for you. Totally not carnivore diet related, but this is part of the addiction problem. As I was searching for a little bit healthier type snack foods for my children, this is one of the things I was getting into. And as an alternative, not the greatest thing, does not work well with the carnivore diet. And I'm not saying that, hey guys, go out and try this, but this is going to be better than a bag of Doritos, better than just any type of potato product out there, or going out and getting something like fast food French fries, for instance, with all the vegetable oils and seed oils and 23 other ingredients. Why do they have 23 ingredients in McDonald's French fries? Really, they should have stuck with potatoes and beef tallow. Healthier French fry, healthier people back then. I know I was a lot healthier back then. Taking you down because we're not necessarily promoting you. So some of the other things that I've been doing is I drink black coffee every single day. I'm still packing a water bottle full of electrolytes. The electrolytes I make myself. I use Redmonds salt, a little bit of potassium, a little splash of iodine, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of lemon juice. And that's literally what I take to work with me every day. And then I pack another 1 or 2 liters of water to go with me. And I do not snack throughout the day. I just come home, eat dinner, and I do that 5 days every week, regardless, because that's my work schedule. I found out that if I just do this whole weight loss journey on my work schedule and focus on a 5-day work week when it comes to my health and my diet, everything works out wonderfully. Now, something that happens on the weekend could potentially be I might order a pizza for the family. I might take them out and go get ice cream. Once in a while, my daughters like to make chocolate chip cookies. And yes, chocolate chip cookies is another one of those sin foods. But if I'm focusing 90% on meats and fats throughout the week, and then that 10% is mainly just on the weekends, it really doesn't affect my overall potential to stay this size right here. So far, I have not ballooning back up like some have predicted in the past, and it's not one of those rub your nose in it type things. I don't even care about that. What I care about is the fact that I can stay at a maintainable weight, which is anything under 300 pounds, in my opinion, is a blessing for anybody, because we should not be over 300 pounds unless we're getting paid to do that. People, like professional wrestlers, boxers, people playing football or other related sports where weight is actually a thing of benefit in that particular sport. I'm not getting paid to be a 300-pound truck driver. I get paid better, by being around 265 and actually having the mind power to take care of business and not be sensitive every time somebody says something silly. Because that's another major issue when it comes to things like how we're going to perform at work. If you're super sensitive and hormonal, a lot of that has to do with the foods you're eating. So if you're eating like horrible snack foods that you might pick up at the coffee shop on the way to work, or you're picking up a coffee that's full of sugars and other added ingredients, well, for one, you're going to have a crash at about anywhere from 10 to right around lunchtime. And then we tend to like order stuff like DoorDash. It's like, well, if you skip all that, you skip the coffee, the fancy coffee, the snacks, the convenience store stop where you're just buying a whole bunch of stuff just to buy stuff, just because you have to have food around you, surrounding you like family. The food is not family. So now the way the carnivore diet has changed my life, I eat for fuel. Seriously, that's all I eat for nowadays. I rarely eat when I get bored, because that's just how I got fat in the first place, is I was just continuously getting into the feed bag. So I'm running like 2 or 3 different things at work, sometimes 4, maybe 5 different things at work, and getting them all together in pretty good time. And I rarely ever forget certain things that need to be taken care of, especially when it has a lot of money involved type projects. But all right, yes, the 90% rule. So let's get back to that. As long as you eat 90% meats and fats, 10% I love my life. And if you can, figure out a little bit of fasting, because a lot of my weight loss was contributed to early on type fasting. Because when you're morbidly obese, we're talking like 435 pounds when I started. That's how I really got this all going. I learned how to fast. I learned the importance of fasting. I learned how many hours to fast, what to do before and after a fast. How to break a fast was super important. And then have a plan. If you don't have a plan for what you're going to do, it really doesn't turn into anything successful for the long term, because there is no end to our health. So if you just decide like, hey, I'm going to do the carnivore diet for 90 days, and then you're going to frick off and just go right back to eating whatever trash garbage, you just basically quit yourself. You're not quitting the diet. You're quitting yourself at that point, because you're just going the wrong way. You're going to be unhealthy, back on medication. You're going to have migraines and all kinds of other issues. Getting rid of irritable bowel syndrome was a huge win for me, because a long time ago, I couldn't even go anywhere. Didn't matter if it was to Walmart, to the shopping malls, or I couldn't go on camping trips or anything like that unless I knew exactly where the restrooms were. And as a commercial truck driver that drives a lot of miles, I had to plan my trips around my bowels. So yeah, it was a problem. So every 2 hours or so, I might have to poop. That's a problem. Yeah, especially when it's minus 30 outside and you're running up some place like the Dalton Highway and there's really no place to go. And trust me, having to do number 2 on the Dalton Highway at minus 30 with a 10-degree wind chill factor is not a pleasant experience. But anyways, once everything inside my gut was fixed, irritable bowel syndrome started going away, I noticed all these random changes. And this is, seriously guys, 90% carnivore type diet eating with a little bit of fasting mixed in. That's all it is. No exercise. I'm not signed up with a gym. I'm not going for long walks or hikes, even though I can. And I have done a few here and there. Last summer, I was out the first time in many years. I was on a mountain bike, able to ride around the city and enjoy my life a little bit more. Now I can actually go down to the riverbank and stand on the riverbank and fish with my wife. That's a great thing, because before, when I had severe edema in my legs, standing on a riverbank with my feet pointed down was so painful. It was pushing all that pressure towards my toes and my toenails. I was getting swelling down there. Oh, it was so much pain. But that's all gone now. So I'm just having a lot more fun with life. And it's making it very, very difficult to keep up with a regular upload schedule here on YouTube. And it's probably the reason why my channel's not doing so well right now, because you kind of have to keep going. You know, even with your own health and nutrition, you just have to go. Just keep going. Don't stop. Don't quit yourself. Just eat healthy meats and fats. Eat your eggs. Everything works. We need the cholesterol. And I'm still researching a lot on carnivore diet things, you know, blood related things, cholesterol type stuff. I'm learning things as I go as well. And that's a lot of the aspect of a 90-10 eating principle is constant education. No matter what, keep learning something. It doesn't matter what that something is. It doesn't always have to be health related, but just thrive on learning stuff and being able to retain the information in your head now, because now you're capable of learning so much more than what we thought we could before in the past when we were eating the standard American diet. Because it turns out that all that sugar, high fructose corn syrup, all the seed oils just bog us down. And they wind up secreting from nasty places in our body and our skin. We get body odors in funny places. The body odor goes away when you eat 90% carnivore diet. Now, also the brain fog disappears. You can complete sentences. You can actually have very intelligent conversations with people you always thought were way up here, and you always felt like you were way down here. Well, this is the sugar addict down here. This person up here is eating a lot better, most likely, than you are, because it's just weird how it all works. And I can't explain everything that's happened to me, because even when I wasn't losing weight and I was doing like egg fasting and a lot of carnivore diet, heavy, you know, type eating weeks, I was losing inches, even though I wasn't losing pounds. I still haven't figured out the math on that. But another thing I have learned is that when I was doing the carnivore diet and I was specifically trying to eat right around 6,000 calories a day, we're talking, you know, meats, animal products, 6,000 calories of animal products. And I've heard of other people doing this to a higher extent of closer to 10,000 calories a day. And when we had a little collaboration time and got to talking with one another, you know, because these are things carnivores notice about one another. And it's also relatable because we try these bizarre, weird things. We're like, okay, do calories actually matter? Calories are simply just a unit of measurement. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and it's mainly a distraction. So if you're eating the standard American diet, we're eating a lot of sugars, carbohydrates, just random snacks, maybe some fruits, and a lot of vegetables. Okay, I get it. Calories will matter there. You eat over 2,000 calories of that garbage, and yeah, you're going to start gaining weight. But when I was eating 6,000 calories of just fatty red meats, bacon, eggs, maybe some cheese, a little bit of dairy here and there, some pork rinds, I wasn't gaining any weight at all. Nothing. I wasn't gaining any weight. So that led me to a whole nother rabbit hole that I decided to jump down and try to figure out. So there's a process, I believe it's called Thermogenesis. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I don't care. But if you want to find more out about this, you can go to your phone and you can go to any AI and just ask it, you know, hey, why don't I gain weight when I eat 6,000 calories on the carnivore diet? And you'll get a basic description as to the reasons why. It'll give you a technical term like thermogenesis, and hopefully you can get a little bit more educated. I use AI all the time to discuss all kinds of different things, try to learn new things. Here's the latest one that I got here. So I simply asked AI because I saw a short video about Philip Morris, and they bought out, you know, food companies. So Philip Morris is a tobacco company. And I was just like curious, like, okay, what is AI going to tell me? The first search I did was a bunch of mumbo jumbo, but then I reworded it in a different way. And I said, did Philip Morris buy any food companies? That's how I got to this little conclusion right here. Yes, they did. They bought General Foods, and they acquired these for like billions of dollars. So General Foods, they bought it back in 1985, $5.6 billion. And that included brands of Jell-O, Maxwell House, and Kool-Aid. They also bought out Kraft Incorporated. They acquired that in 1988 for a price of $12.9 billion. adding cheese products and other grocery items to Phyllis Morphosis. Yeah, they might as well be a morph. They have made these products all very addictive, by the way, adding it to their portfolio. Another one that they got was Nabisco's Holdings, acquired in 2000, $14.9 billion. That's $55 per share, adding brands like Oreo, Ritz, and Planters to Kraft's food. That's amazing stuff there. I mean, it's not amazing that it happened. It's just amazing how addictive those food items were in my life, and probably your life too. So I'm guessing we all have something in common here when it came to, for those of us Gen Xers, that were born in the 1970s, and we also grew up through the whole process of processed foods becoming more and more available. Because when I was a kid, foods, even box foods, they didn't last on store shelves for much more than 2 weeks. If they were on the shelves for 2 weeks, they were outdated, they were stale, often moldy. Sometimes they contained some bugs. We had to throw them away. Now the foods that we have in our pantry can last for months, sometimes years. Same or similar products that we used to throw away in a week or two on grocery store shelves. I don't know about you guys, but to me, that's a little bit terrifying. The fact that food lasts so long. And back in the days, they were talking about preservatives and stuff like that, and how the bodies aren't going to start decomposing after we pass away. That's a reality. Now, that's a thing. So all these preservatives, all of these seed oils and excessive ingredients that we're adding to our foods is quite often killing us early, and then it's not allowing our bodies to go back to Mother Nature like it was intended in the first place. Weird things, strange things for thought. But yeah, anytime you have a rabbit hole type question, go to your phone, ask Meta AI if you have Facebook. That is a pretty good, reliable one. I like that one. There's several different versions. ChatGPT is a good one, but we have to be careful using AI software, because after a while, the AI software gets to know us. And once it does, it'll ask us questions, like mine does about my carnivore diet, like, hey, how's the carnivore diet going for you? And it actually tries to learn more about you through these basic key features. Now, another thing I've been able to do a lot of is my own work on my vehicle, because I couldn't do that before. I was just physically unable to do that, or I was just so swollen in my legs or my arms or my neck, or just something was hurting all the time. So I couldn't just go outside, work on a vehicle, and just focus all of my time on just that. So now that I can do these things, and I can actually lift things, move things, I can jump up and down on things, I can basically excel in the workforce, in my workplace. I've been doing extremely well with putting together projects, making sure things happen on time, taking care of my customers. They are the most important thing in my life, because you got happy customers, man. If you have a happy customer, they keep wanting you to come back, and everything just works well. We're making money for each other. But let's finish off here with the 90-10 eating principle, 10% love your life. People ask me all the time, okay, what does it look like? Well, I come home at night, I'll eat a ribeye steak, and I might have some reindeer sausage, I might have some other meat products, and some eggs. Okay, maybe not all in the same meal, but a combination of proteins is really good. Eggs is always a winner when it comes to a carnivore diet type experience. And if you want to lose guaranteed weight, just eat eggs for 3 days. Tell me you didn't lose any weight. Eggs, only eggs for 3 days. Eat as many as you want. You're going to lose some weight. And it's a pretty cool process because it works really well for men and women. For men and women, it does control hormones and stuff like that. It increases testosterone in women. It increases estrogen. These are 2 hormones that are vital, to the specific people that we are, and it helps us thrive. Now, in men, when it increases their testosterone, we actually want to do stuff. We want to do hands-on type manly stuff, really. And it also helps us perform way better in the bedroom, and we're a lot less awkward, because being less awkward with our spouse is, it's kind of a good thing. But all right, guys, that's about all I got for you this week. I'm sorry I haven't been able to keep up with social media as well as I was hoping to, and I just want everybody to be healthy, happy, and enjoy your life. So until next time, guys. There's always something I wanted to talk about, and I always forget about it. Wonder what that was.